Hi dear friends and subscribers, welcome to Cricket Happenings. Unfortunately, the first upload that I did of this investec test series, the 4 days play between England and South Africa, unfortunately due to YouTube problems, it told me that it was aborted. But I had actually given that particular cricket report with lots of enthusiasm. I had covered a lot of things, I had done a lot of analysis on that, but unfortunately it didn't come through. So sorry about that, so I'm giving it one more try here and hope everything goes well. So this is your host Ram actually giving you the 4 days report of the third test between England and South Africa in the Investec test series, which was played here at the Lord's Cricket Ground today. So South Africa resuming at the overnight score along with Hashim Amla and Dale Steyn. Dale Steyn actually had to survive some real short pitch deliveries from the bowlers, so he made 9 runs with just 1 boundary. After that, it was Hashim Amla all the way. Hashim Amla was really, turning strokes like he was really, as you know, whenever he plays with lots of wristy. He's totally wristy, as you know. And today he went on to a beautiful century, 121 with 10 fours. A.B. de Villiers, he made 43. He had a charmed life when James Harrison at short mid-wicket actually dropped him with the bowling of Graham Swan. So he contributed 43. But that was the time when this partnership was looking a bit threatening. That was the time Stephen Finn in the pre-tea interval came in and struck, and he bowled some beautiful deliveries, some unplayable deliveries. Hashim Amla got a ball that straightened up. Hashim Amla had no answer. Crashed into the stumps. He was clean bowled by Finn for 121, 10 fours. And Hashim Amla etching his name on the honours boards for the second time at this Lord's Cricket Ground with a century. And then he also nipped the wicket of A.B. de Villiers sort of with a ball that actually left him but lifted. And A.B. de Villiers was gone limply caught by Strauss for 43 with 4 fours. Jack Rudolph was the next to go. Caught Pryor bowled Finn for 11 with 1 4. And that was the time Stephen Finn reduced them from 259 for 4 to 282 for 7. And once again, Vernon Philander came in and gave admirable company to Duminy. Vernon Philander carried on in the same way that he carried on in the first innings when he made his maiden 50. He gave admirable company. Duminy was very careful, very watchful, and they also stitched together a partnership from raising the score from 282 to 336 when Vernon Philander was the man to go. After making 35, he actually tried to carve Anderson through the offside. Jonathan Bairstow at backward point took the catch. He was gone for 35 with 5 fours. After that, it was pretty quick work, with Moni Moikel being stumped by Pryor with the bowling of Swan for 9, and Imran Tahir received a Yorker which you couldn't keep it past his stumps, and he was gone clean bowled by Anderson for 1. That left JP Duminy not out on 26, and South Africa finished with 351 all out. So thus setting England a target of 346 to win the match. Now James Anderson, he had wickets of 2 for 73, 2 for 85 for Broad, 2 for 94 for Swan, but Stephen Finn was the pick of the bowlers by striking it big during the 3 interval. 27 overs, 5 maidens, 74 runs and 4 wickets. Now as far as England were concerned, England's target was 346, but they finished at a sorry 16 for 2. In fact, Vernon Philander was all over the English batsmen. Vernon Philander was absolutely unplayable. If you see his bowling figures, 4 overs, 1 maiden, 4 runs and 2 wickets. He actually first gave them the breakthrough by getting the wicket of Alistair Cook. Alistair Cook got a ball which was absolutely had a perfect seam position. As Alistair Cook was gone, LBW bowled Philander for 3, and Andrew Strauss was a victim, as he was in all sorts of trouble in that particular over where Philander was bowling, and Andrew Strauss walked back to the pavilion as Andrew Strauss was a bit confused whether the ball is going to go out or go in. He was a bit so he decided in the final stages to actually offer his patch to the ball, but it was all over. Strauss was adjudged LBW bowled Philander for 1, and that the score after that was left to Jonathan Trott and Ian Bell to see off the day, contributing 6 and 4 respectively, remaining unbeaten on 6 and 4, and the score stood for England at 16 for 2 of 13 overs at close of play on this 4th day of the final test match in the Investec Test Series. Look at Vernon Philander. He was absolutely unplayable. He was getting the ball to jag in, jag out, and he was absolutely on the England batsman. No England batsman could really fathom what exactly Philander was doing. Philander 4 overs 1 maiden, 2 for 4 his figures. Morkel 4 overs 2 maidens, none for 7, and Steen 5 overs 2 maidens, none for 4. Now, just looking at this match, I'm just going to do a small analysis. I did a very perfect analysis in the previous report, but unfortunately it was not to be. It didn't come through, so I'm doing it once again here. Now, looking at this particular match, looking at this particular pair is very, very crucial. But it is not going to be easy. The ball is still not very old. It's just 13 overs old. And at morning, there's going to be dew in the pitch. Definitely it would be, I'm sure the South African pace attack, he'll definitely exploit that. Vernon Philander, he has been absolutely unplayable today. Tomorrow, again, that is going to be another stiff examination for Ian Bell and Jonathan Trott, partnered by, then they have Mone Morkel, who, you know how he can bowl, and Dale Steyn with his pace, he can be absolutely menacing. So, we all look, it is a record chase that England is doing tomorrow. Now, just looking at this particular, just trying to do a short analysis of what exactly could happen tomorrow. Now, Jonathan Trott and Ian Bell, according to me, is the most crucial pair at the crease. This pair has to really take it further. It all depends on this particular pair, because if you look at the batting lineup below, it doesn't make anything impressive, because Jonathan Bairstow, even though he made 95, it would be too much to expect Jonathan Bairstow to once again come to the party. Taylor, as you know, he played well in the previous test, but again, Taylor is, again, this is inexperience. Jonathan Bairstow and James Taylor are not so experienced as far as test match is concerned. Tomorrow is going to be the final day of the test match. And let's not only talk about the bowlers, we also have Imran Tahir, the right arm leg spinner, who has not actually wheeled his arm over in this particular innings. And tomorrow he will be there, and on the final day, you know what the leg spinner can do. There will be a lot of foot marks. It's not going to be easy. And looking at and then Matt Pryor is the other batsman who is much experienced of the whole lot. Graham Swan is a quite experienced person. They do have Stuart Broad, who can can be classified as an all-rounder, but definitely he needs to deliver the goods, and James Anderson and Stephen Finn. So it's not going to be easy. I think I would be going South African way. The reason being the 2 wickets have been nipped back already, and so for South Africa, they would be tomorrow trying to get to the #1 spot in Test cricket, and tomorrow is the last day. And what a way it is going to end. That is what really makes our hearts really flutter there, because I mean, it really warms our hearts that we are going to have a great end to this Investec Test Series, which is going to decide who is going to be the #1 Test team in Test cricket. And so, as I said, this particular crucial pair of Jonathan Trott and Ian Bell is very crucial. They have to see off the morning session, probably the lunch session, the first session, and then leave it to probably Jonathan Bairstow, James Taylor, or Matt Pryor, or Graham Swan. But again, I think it would be better after looking at Andrew Strauss. Probably I thought that Andrew Strauss and Alistair Cook could actually lay the foundation. Things would have been different. But now I think South Africa, it is slowly tilted South Africa's way towards becoming the #1 team in Test cricket. But again, it's cricket. So tomorrow one has to wait and watch how Jonathan Trott and Ian Bell actually negotiate the morning spell of Mone Morkel, Vernon Philander, Dale Steyn, and then later on in the day how they actually deal with Imran Tahir's leg spin, googlies, and the wrong ones and whatnot. Well, so that is as far as this is concerned. Now, I'm going to take you back to the days. Now, this is going to be a record chase by England against South Africa. Now, one remembers in the 1980s, West Indies were a real force to reckon with under Clive Lloyd, the captain, and you know the barrage of fast bowlers, the great batsmen like great Sir Isaac Vivian Alexander Richards, the great Gordon Greenidge, Desmond Haynes, and when I do remember hearing the cricket commentary on BBC Test Match Special while I was in India at that time during my younger days, when it was not relayed on television, and I had to depend on the Test Match Special on the BBC, British Broadcasting Corporation, and I still feel that the commentators were, I thought it was Fred Truman, they had Christopher Martin Jenkins as the expert commentator, and they also had the other commentator, I think it was Brian Johnston, who is a very exciting commentator. Now, what happened was that it was West Indies who were set a target of 344 at Lords, And let me tell you, there was only one team in the 1980s that could do it, and that was the West Indies. Yes, West Indies did it. It was thanks to Gordon Greenidge smashing this England attack to all parts of the field. Now, we don't have anyone like that in England tomorrow to do it. It is, so as I said, it is going to be very difficult. They have a big task on hand, 340 to get, and West Indies made 344 to win the match for just 1 wicket. They had a 10-wicket win over England, and Gordon Greenidge was instrumental. He smashed the bowling totally. Okay, so now what I am trying to say here is that tomorrow, right now I would say it is tilted South Africa's way, but again, if Jonathan Trott and Ian Bell could bring in their experience and show what they are capable of tomorrow when negotiating this very dangerous South African bowling attack and come up trumps, that would be great. So tomorrow would be the day that would decide the result in Test cricket, and what an end to the series we are going to see tomorrow. Tomorrow no one can miss the day tomorrow, because there is going to be a result, because warm and sunny, it's summertime in England, and I'm sure we are going to see a result. And whether it is going to be South Africa who is going to wrest the #1 position from England, or whether England are the ones who are going to retain their #1 Test position, it will be known tomorrow. Well, on this note, dear fans, friends and subscribers, I hope we go back to 1984 and see something of that sort, but as I said, it is something absolutely impossible according to me. Because they don't have anyone. I would say probably if there was a player in the mold of Ian Botham, one could have said. Jonathan Bairstow, we know he's a good hitter of the ball, but you know, it's very too early. That would be a miracle if something happens and Johnny Bairstow actually plays in the way Gordon Greenidge of West Indies played. That would be a miracle. Well, on this note, dear fans, friends and subscribers, don't miss tomorrow, and don't miss tomorrow's report of mine when I come to give you the match proceedings on the third and final on the fifth and final day of this Investec Test series, which is going to end, and what an ending that is going to be. That's it from me, your host Ram, for the Cricket Happening Show for today, and see you all tomorrow with a new cricket report. Until then, it's Ram bidding goodbye. Thank you.